Alrighty, my peeps, and welcome back to another video on Parkitech. And today we're going to be working on an airfield. Let's click on the campaign. Let's take a peek at it right here. And so it is telling me it is a small airfield that has been abandoned, and now the land has become available for use. This looks like an ideal spot for an amusement park, and that it will be. And the scenario goals to have 250 guests in your park, but that optional goal that we need to get that little gold circle, we need to have at least 400 park tickets sold by the end of June of year 2. So it gives us about 16 to 17 months, 18 months. So let's get started. Alrighty, peeps, and on this particular scenario, we are building on an airport landing strip. So the land here is definitely going to be very, very long, but in the same breath, it's going to be super, super narrow. So that is the quest of this particular scenario. So what I've decided to do was pretty much steal the way that the structures of the buildings are and sort of incorporate that into my builds of whatever I decided to build. And this particular building is going to be the food court. So this is where I'm going to have the food at, just because of the fact that there's the path that's coming behind it that's leading from the place where the depots are for the food. So I decided that this would probably be the best spot right now for food, right at the front of the park. So I pretty much took the styles of the building, the way that the roofing is, the way that the sides of the building, the pillars that I just placed there, and now I'm placing the food inside here. So that's pretty much the structure of this. So when you're walking into the park, you're going to have the food to your right, and then to the left, I planned on putting a smaller ride. And one of the things that as I put these umbrellas here, I did not know that you can actually put a gate in the middle of the pathway like that. So you have a pathway and you put a gate, and that way you could put the benches back and forth. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was using those the scaffold, whatever it's called, there, trying to build something, but you know, you just kind of experiment here and there. So there's the ride for the airplane. So again, just coming up with some kind of a design around it as the path goes there. And then eventually I'm going to put a pavilion covering over top of the path. But for now, I'm just kind of doing some fine tweaking here, trying to come up with something. And there's the gate that I just put down there, the fencing, and then put the back-to-back benches. And I thought that looked pretty cool. So now, as I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm going to put as decorations here, yeah, I've just absolutely have become really in love with this game. I mean, I like the part that I can build stuff, kind of like Minecraft, coming up with designs and patterns and stuff like that, along with building the rides. I mean, Rollercoaster Tycoon, it was just about building rides as much as you can, as fast as you can to get the money and all that. But the scenery is just as important as the rides. And now we're coming up with a red and blue theme for the airplanes, and I thought that would be a nice, cool little themes. So when you're walking into the park, you're walking into an airport. Technically, you should have planes, and there's the planes. And now there went the path for the workers, so that they can't be seen. So that was the green wall that just went in a couple seconds ago. And yeah, now we're just putting in the fine details in the front of this park. And now we're ready to, looks like, move on. And now I wanted to come up with some kind of a roller coaster, because you got to still get the money in the park. So I came up with this theory here, and this was now going to be my next theme of the park. So the back of the park is kind of be like an industrial grayish brick style. So we put that down, and that was a custom that was already made roller coaster. And now I'm coming up with another food area because I figured I'd have to have some kind of a food area towards the back of the park, since the food was in the front, was kind of bit a ways, and it was a lot of food given to us at the beginning of this scenario. We were given, I think, like 5 or 6 food booths. So this is what I decided to go here. Eventually, we're going to have to bring the underground depot into effect, and we'll see that in a few minutes here. But yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed this game. It's kind of like I could sit here for like hours upon hours and just sort of come up with designs and stuff like this. And on this one, the food was kind of sticking out. The food box was kind of sticking out, so I decided to redo the roofing here instead of having a typical up and down roof like a V roof, upside down V, I guess. We just decided to go with the slanted ones, just like they were across from it. I did realize now, as I'm talking about it, that I did forget to put the borders in around it, so that'll be something we'll have to do. There's a lot of things that I noticed when I was editing that I kind of forgot about, and there was some things that as I was playing I forgot about, and we'll go over that, but I did catch a few of them. So yeah, so this is going to be another food port. So now we got to get the situation set up for the depot, and we got to put fencing up so that it is kind of hidden in back there so nobody can see it. And now this is where we're going to have it come from. So we're going to go underground here, and this is kind of cool because we get the tubing that comes out, and it's going to stretch all the way down and around. So there it goes underneath, and now it'll be on the back end of it. We'll put the depot there. And we're good to go. So the depot is set up. And one of the things that I kind of realize that I'm going to need is another place for trash, because at the front of the building I blocked it off. So technically, right now there is no access to the trash cans. So even if the janitors do have trash, they have absolutely nowhere to put it at this particular junction in time. I do realize that a little bit further down the road, and I will fix it towards the end of this video, but yeah, I kind of forgot that. So as we move around here, I'm trying to come up with now another ride plan. So here's what I decided to do with this is kind of, since I have the planes in the front, I decided to do kind of like a space type deal, like a spaceship type ride. So I figured that this would be a nice ride for spaceship, and then I'm going to build a building around it. So that's what I'm doing now, is we put the red part around it. It took me a couple of minutes to kind of figure out the pattern that I wanted to do. And I did realize once I get to the roof part that I probably should have built it like Minecraft in odds instead of having one side being even, because it kind of messed up the top of the roof, and I struggle a little bit with the design of the roof, trying to figure out what to put on top of it. So yeah, this will be the opening, as you see in the bottom of the ride. That'll be where they're coming in and out of. And now we're gonna place the roof here, and then I gotta figure out something to put on top of it. And I tried a lot of different options. There was like a flat saucer I tried to put a statue up there. I tried all kind of things, and you'll see here as I'm struggling figuring out what to put on top of this thing. I tried different sizes, but it just wasn't working. So eventually I'll come up with a design. But yeah, this has made me want to go to an amusement park. I'm like ready to go to Cedar Point, and I think I've talked about it in the first episode. We have one of the theme parks that's near me. It's about an hour away. It's like the roller coaster capital of the world. There's like 12 roller coasters there. They have all different types of roller coasters. Nothing exotic like they have in Europe, but there's some pretty decent ones. Yeah, my daughter went to Cedar Point, I think last Friday for her school for having good grades and all that fun stuff. And to much of my surprise, she told me she wrote everything. And I'm like, oh, I finally got a ride partner. Oh, my son is definitely afraid of roller coasters, and he's like, oh my God. He's like a chicken when it comes to it. My daughter at first was okay, but then the last few times we had gone, she kept saying, no, 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 no. But I guess maybe being 13 now and having her friends, she decided to ride, so that's awesome. I can't do the ones that spin, or I can't go in twirls or anything like that, but I could still ride the ones that go really, really high and really, really fast and with big drops. Those are like my favorite. Okay, as we wind up on this ride design here, just pretty much decorating the outside of it now, putting down a different surface. It's technically called an ash surface. It kind of matched the ride a little bit, so I really liked it with the brown in the streaks. And now we're putting some lights here. And this baby's about to wrap up, so we're about to get this ride done. And I think it came out pretty good. Kind of looks like a floating bubble. So now we're going to add another ride towards the back end of the park where the industrial area is. And so I'm trying to figure out exactly the design that I wanted to do here. Again, I'm copying the ride next to me, so I've got the brick up. We're going to use the same kind of roofing, kind of glide it together. So when you're entering this part of the park, it's like, okay, this is the industrial park. This is the industrial side of it. So we're just sort of matching that building over there, that little brick building. I really like the way that those cylinder tubs or whatever they're called, those little cylinder holders are. That's actually an item that you can make with the materials that you got. So I had to try to figure out some way to implement that somewhere in the park. I really like the way that the design of that particular ride is. The actual water tower is something that you can add as a water tower, but the actual little cylinder things is made. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, now we're getting this pretty much wrapped up. We are going to put a roof over top of the ride. At first, I thought about just doing a tower type thing, like a tall tower. And you'll see me kind of struggle with it a little bit, trying to figure out what kind of design I wanted to do. But yeah, we got the pillars going in now, all the way around. And then eventually we're going to put that roof in. And again, I'm trying to figure out what kind of style roof I wanted to do. Eventually, it's going to be one of that flat one that's off of that tall scaffold. But yeah, that's what I really liked. I kind of was thinking about maybe somehow doing a line like that, but there was no way to get the people to go up. So you're going to see, I'm going to start with it right here. So I was trying to figure out a way to make it look like the people are actually going up and down, kind of like a factory. Like they got it there, but I just couldn't really figure out a way to do it. So then I just decided to just fill in the whole thing and just make a roof out of it. And that's what we did. So we just put the roof in and put the border all the way around it. And that pretty much wrapped up that ride. Lots of grays, lots of blacks, but it just, with the brick, it just kind of blends in. And I thought it was pretty solid. So next thing I'm thinking about now is the ground. Oh, and here's like a station. Forgot that I put that there. But yeah, we're going to start working a little bit on the ground, but my money situation was low. As you've seen, I grabbed an $8,000 loan because I was down to $2,000. So that got me up to $10,000. So now it's kind of figuring out what kind of ride to put in between the whatever ride that is on the left and the ride on the right. So then I figured to make a car design maybe. Just a nice little soft little gentle ride. eventually, when we go the other way in the park and towards the right side, I'm thinking about maybe putting some bigger roller coasters over there and kind of having like a fun house style ride, because part of the decorations that we have is kind of like a Alice in Wonderland theme. So I was thinking of maybe doing something like that down at the end. I do know from when I played this the first time that if I actually put some research into this, I can get go karts. So I was thinking maybe like a go kart style Alice in Wonderland theme park type ride. But we'll probably do that in the next episode. But yeah, as I continue to go around here, kind of struggling a little bit with the design of this ride. Um, Yep, as we go, really struggling here, trying to get around the turn. Um, but yeah, that's what I want to try to do is make a lot of custom rides eventually in this. But the only problem is the early stages with the money. The money's like tough, 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 tough. Um, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I mean, the first time that I played this, the first run, and I went through, I mean, I really, 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 really struggled with the money because I didn't know what prices to use. And now I've pretty much figured it out. If you got a roller coaster and it has an excitement rating of 5, you could pretty much do the money like 2.5 times 5. So in essence, you can go somewhere around 12 bucks. And once you start to get the money aspect of it, things start to change. And one of the parks I played for a very long time, I kind of went like maybe 7, 8 years, and I was almost up to like $300,000. So eventually the money will come, just like in Roller Coaster Tycoon. All right, so now we're just doing the finishing touches. We're putting a little bit of decorations with the cars in the front, and I like that because they like add a color to it. I'll probably maybe change one of those out. And yeah, pretty much the back of that park is completed as far as rides and everything goes. And that's pretty much the way it's going to look. So it's going to have, you're going to go from that red and blue part right there in the front. And then once you head to the back, you're going to get into the gray industrial park. And then when we go the other way, I'm thinking, like I said, the Alice in Wonderland is going to be like yellows and reds and greens and lots of flowers and stuff like that. So now I'm just pretty much doing the touch-ups, putting in the benches, putting in trash cans, fixing up the paths, just kind of sort of touching it up, getting it nice and neat. I did start to park for about 1 month just to see what was going on, and I quickly got about 75 people in the park just like that. So didn't take much to get the people in the park. So I figured if I could just probably get another loan and do the other side, and we'll definitely hit the 400 within probably the early stages of the next video. But yeah, we're just pretty much touching up the back part right now. And in the comments, I want to hear about your theme parks, okay? I want to hear about some of the places that you've been to. It could be something small. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to probably about a dozen of them in the United States. Pretty much, I've been to a couple of the Six Flags. I've been to the Cedar Fairs. I've been to very small amusement parks. Hershey Park in Pennsylvania is arguably the prettiest park, is arguably the best food that I've gone to. It doesn't have the rides like Cedar Point does, but it's right there with it. I mean, it's pretty darn close. That's probably my favorite park of all time, Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And it's kind of cool because that's where they make the chocolate. The Hershey chocolate bars, they have the factory right there next to it. And when you're in a park, you smell chocolate. It is awesome. I mean, it is just awesome going walking around the park. I haven't been there in about 10, 15 years, but I definitely want to try to get back there and take my kids now that they're older. All right, so we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. We're pretty much open to park. We got all of the benches in. We got all of the trash cans in. We got the lights in. And we're just letting it flow right now just to see where we are as far as guests goes. And yeah, we're up to right now about 173 guests. So this is pretty much going to wrap up this part of the video. There's one thing, though, that I have to do So I had to pause it to do it because I forgot. And can you guess what I forgot to build? I'm going to let it go, but think about it. What do you think I left out? Here they come. Yep, right there. I left out the bathrooms. I forgot to build bathrooms. Oh my goodness. How can you have a theme park without bathrooms? So for the first, let's see, what was it? What are we in, March? So for the first 2 months, people just weren't going to the bathroom. Like, there was no place to go to the bathroom. So yeah, that's probably an issue. So I decided to put 2 sets of bathrooms. Here's the first set towards the back of the park. Pretty much the same style as the industrials with the bricks and all of this. And then I decided to put another set in the front of the park. And this is going to be the same style as the front of the park with the gray and the roofing design and the windows and all of that. So we had to put some bathrooms in. And like I said, because of that, if you could just see at the top with the path of the fence, with the shrubbery fence, I need to do something too to make sure that the janitors have access to that back part. So that's probably what we're going to do in the next. We'll probably start building something towards the front of this, maybe even put some more shops in there, so it'll be easy to not only for them to haul the product to, but also they can get access to the back so they can get to the training room. Because right now, they technically can't leave that little area there. There's no way they can leave, so the training area ain't going to be an issue. I did put a training area on the other side, so there won't be an issue there. And now we'll just have to just come up with something. It'll be pretty easy, though. But yeah, that's pretty much the park now. We got the bathrooms in. I found an ATM, so we put an ATM in there to make sure they have more money. And now we're going to let this bad boy roll. And now what I'm doing here is just kind of letting it roll and seeing how far the guests will go before they start dwindling down. And they pretty much dwindled. I mean, they went all the way up to, what am I at, like 190 right now. So yeah, that's the first half of the park. And I think it came out pretty well. And for the next video, we're going to work on the second half of the park. We're going to work on the back part. Definitely, like I said, Alice in Wonderland. We're going to build something like that. We're going to build a major roller coaster in the back of that ride. I'm going to probably try to get some more research in here so that we can get bigger rides and better rides and all that fun stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. And again, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. I am on Twitter. I am twitching. I will probably be on Twitch, I want to think, maybe Friday night, this Friday night, and possibly next Monday, but we will see for that. I am heading into a super, super busy weekend. We did have a rain out today with baseball, so that's how I was able to get this video out. So again, guys, thank you for watching, and as always, bye-bye, babies.